Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, non-binaries, to another episode of Black Seinfeld, a show about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
A little bit of EVE, Gwen Stefani, you done know. Let me blow your mind. One of the classic tracks of the early 2000s where hip-hop and R&B blend together. This is when Gwen Stefani was in her black mode. She was in her black phase. She had a lot of R&B hits. She was collabing with Pharrell, the Neptunes, Timbaland, and all that. Remember that time, Bash?
Yeah, definitely heavy in those productions. It came up at the. I like to say it's when you would see R&B in MTV.
Yes.
Not forcefully.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do agree with that.
I always credit Gwen Stefani for teaching us how to properly spell bananas. You know,
100%.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas. B-A-N-A. Apparently, that was a diss track to a pop star. I forgot who though. She was beefing with a pop star back in the day, and so she came out with "Holla Back Girl," claiming she's not the one. She's not the one to try. So that was her little aggressive diss track. Guess that was her way of saying I will slap you in the face in front of an award ceremony. That was her way of saying that.
Oh, very interesting. I think the best content comes out of anger.
Absolutely. The best content comes out of anger, sometimes even sadness.
Hopefulness.
I feel like whenever you're going through something, whether you're oppressed, whether you're heartbroken, I think the best content comes out of that, especially when it comes to artists like Mary J. Blige. We all know she's infamous for, like, whenever she's going through something relationship-wise, we always expect a banger of an album to come out. Or even Adele, too. Like what happened with Adele when she got divorced, you already knew 30 was going to be an instinct banger in these streets.
Immediate first listen, it was a classic.
Yeah.
I hate using that term, but some first listens is just a classic. But yo, let's introduce who we are.
Well, if you don't know, you should know. It's Trinidadi, Panamanian Poppy, Rude Boy, Top Gunner, Sak Panyamada. Oh yeah, Giovanni Anglo. What's going on, people?
What's going on, folks? Is it Bastionissa recording live from LA? Gio is in Brooklyn.
Hey.
What's going on?
West Side Bash, because you and I know it's the best side. Throw your dubs up. How you doing,
man.
Bash?
Yo, man. I'm adapting to everything over here. Remember last episode I told you about lack of water?
Yes.
Just me not drinking. I'm still feeling it. I'm still not.
Oof.
I'm like a New Yorker out here. It's like I'm not drinking enough water. I got to drink like maybe eight ounces of water every 45 minutes. So if not, then the heat takes you. The lack of moisture in the air takes you. Something takes you. So
have you assimilated and copped some Chucks now?
No, I don't think I can because Chucks are weird. What my boy Ryan, shout out to him. He told me about like
that is true.
The other Vans. I forget what Van style is, but it's not like the Vans you skateboard with. It's more of a walking around shoe, and it's pretty cheap. So I might cop that for like 60.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me what was going on when you went to the burger shop and you tried to use the bird faucet.
Oh, okay. That's something I put on my Instagram recently.
Yes.
So I was just navigating around the neighborhood, walking around for like, I think I spent maybe 3 hours walking around that day. And I was just trying to get to know the neighborhood I'm in. And I passed by this nice restaurant. There was nobody in line, and it was a Saturday, so every place is packed. So I just want to go somewhere mad quiet so I could be eating low key. So I eat the burger. It's amazing. And I went to use the bathroom to wash my hands, still in the COVID pandemic times. And the faucet is designed like this beautiful swan, and there's a wing on the side. And you could tell that it's designed to have both wings, but the way we perpetrate faucets is we turn left and right.
Right.
And if we do see a faucet with only one handle, it kind of protrudes forward, so you know which direction is left and right, hot and cold. But this one is more of a, for aesthetic reasons, it's just a gold like upwards angle, and then you see the wing on the side, and behind it is a description on do not touch the wing, please control it from the middle. And I was astonished that you would have to explain, because of this beautiful design, because I'm also in design too, that anytime you have to explain someone how to use said object,
it's a bad setup.
It's a bad design.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm learning a little bit about how aesthetics is a little bit pleasure. Same thing about, if you go to a restaurant in New York City and you go to the bathroom and it's more of a glass bowl, it becomes this kind of see-through effect.
Hmm.
That gets me dizzy.
Huh.
That
Okay.
gets me dizzy, especially if the bathroom has very dark walls and LED lights that belong in the kitchen. Yeah, that gets me dizzy as well. So I do have a problem with certain bathrooms.
I have something similar. I have a similar experience to that. I remember at the 34th Street movie theater, they had a screen when you went to go to the teller and you asked, to see this kind of movie, and the screen would pop up and it would show the seats, right? And your mind already would go to like picking the seats and touching the pad, but they had this big sticker laminated saying do not touch the screen on the pad, because when you see the screen, your automatic assumption, because it's just the screen, you think that, oh, this is touchscreen, so I could just pick whatever seat I want. But no, you have to tell them what seat you want.
Yeah. So like I said, I know what you mean too, because I think it's that same movie theater because they turn their screen to show you which seat you like,
Yes.
and then you tell them, okay, yeah, I thought that was weird too. Especially when you're, shopping online on your phone. Fandango is pretty quick. You press the seat you want, so you
Mm-hmm.
assume it works the same way.
Exactly.
But the way I look at that, it's all about like principle design. When you design something, you have the intention of like this is customer facing, or you did have a touchscreen at one point in time, but it didn't work, or maybe all our minds are so focused into like a touchscreen era that the original design did make sense before the iPhone.
Right. Yeah, because all of our smartphones now, it's all touchscreen. We have tablets and pads and even computers. Some computers are touchscreen now, you know?
So another thing, and so like to kind of bounce off your point, it's like if you go to a grocery store, no, if you go to a cafe, they're most likely using Square as a POS as their cash register. If you need to sign, you sign with your finger real quick.
Yes.
You go to the grocery store, you need to sign, you have to sign with like a pen still
Right. Yeah.
to this day. So it's one of those things. You feel like you could sign with your finger, but it's not working. So you have to like, pull the pen from the side and sign there. So this is like we're not 110% up to date with the current technology we have. And it probably has to do with just it's very expensive to update.
It is.
And we don't have like a lane to updates to those features. I do think it's more of a government thing. Like they should have a funding set aside to like, hey, we need like my boy went to Japan. He said all their quote unquote their version of bodegas, their corner stores and stuff, quick marks, I could say, all have walk-in automatic doors.
Mm.
I have never seen a bodega with an automatic door in Brooklyn, Queens.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe in Manhattan, but it's not. No, I wouldn't even
Not
call
even
that a
in
bodega.
Manhattan. Yeah, that's not a
It would just be
bodega.
like a bigger store.
Yeah, and also I always differentiate bodegas and mini marts, because bodegas have the actual deli inside. You know what I'm saying? Mini marts don't
Especially in
have it.
Queens.
Exactly. Mini marts don't have it at
Okay,
all.
so a mini mart will have it, but the same thing that you see in the mini mart, you'll see it in like a bodega, especially in Japan, especially in the bigger cities. But well, I'm not there anymore. But New York City is definitely called like the bigger city, so we don't even have that type of consistency,
That is
especially from my
true.
part of Queens to like your part of Brooklyn. Then you go to the outer part of Brooklyn, you're in Dumbo, and it's a whole different environment.
It is. That's a whole other part of just money itself. I
But
remember.
that's what I mean. Like you used to transfer the money elsewhere to other parts to, make an equal playing ground.
Did I tell you my experience in working in Dumble for a couple of days?
What happened?
It's just a totally different scope than working in Long Island City. Because the weird thing about Long Island City is like there's the Court Square side where it's the more um, changed area. You see a lot of skyscrapers. You see a lot of apartment buildings. You see a lot of glass skyscrapers and tall buildings. And then you go to the factory side, that's where all the niggas are, okay? And that's where I work. So you see that that juxtaposition. But no, you go over to Dumbo, it's just straight up money. And
It's clean. It's nice.
it's clean. It's so much
I
so
did
that
2 job interviews there back in 2015. I like to say.
so much so, Bastion, that the place that I worked at for those past couple of days, if you turn around, right, there's this bomb ass view of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan skyline. It is sick. I've took pictures of it too. And when the sun is setting too, and you know how we get the nice pink hues, it looks something off of the Sire album. It looks freaking incredible. That's the biggest difference of them all.
It's a design destination point that's just upgraded to a very workable region.
Yeah, it's definitely a different tax bracket when you're there, and it's very noticeable.
Now,
Yeah, it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable now, especially when it comes to the food too.
gotcha. So, what you been up to?
What I've been up to, man, I've been, working on finances. I've been getting I'm getting a new Apple Card. I'm hearing it's incredible. And I think it's healthy to have more than one credit card. You need more than one credit card. I think it's good to have a MasterCard and a Visa. MasterCard is universal. Visa cards are universal too, but MasterCards I'd say is a lot more popular than a Visa, especially when
Business advice Geo over here.
especially hey man, this is corporate America Giovanni here. All right, I'm learning people. I learned from you. I learned from my bosses and managers. And so, yeah, MasterCard is like the number one universally used card internationally as well. And the Apple Card, man, I mean, shoot, it's Apple. It's super easy to get to. If you have an iPhone, you can get it within a matter of 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we did an episode about the Apple Card when it first came out.
Yeah.
I used Goldman Sachs, and I think I slightly complained about it.
Yeah, there was an older one that didn't use Goldman Sachs though, if you remember. When it
That wasn't Goldman Sachs. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Barclays.
That was Barclays. Yep.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because I tried to finance it when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I didn't have credit. So
Mm-hmm. But but you don't even need credit in order to get the Apple Card. That's how nuts it is. It would help if you have some sort of built up credit because that APR can help. You can have lower APR. Like I know one of my people has like 12% on it.
oof.
Yeah.
No, it's not permanent.
I know it's not permanent, but
It's like
that's-
between 6 to 26%, right?
it's like no, not even. Well, let's see. Yeah, it can be 6 to 26, and depending on your credit score and all that stuff, it can vary for different people. Mine's is 21 right now. But here's the thing: you don't even have to accept the offer when it comes to what you're gonna get as far as like the max and the APR. You don't have to accept it, so you don't have to get the card. I think that's what's good about it too. It's you put in your income, they'll send you a deal of okay, we'll give you this much credit and then APR is this many percent. Do you accept or decline? And it's up to you.
Yeah, 21%, insane. But as long like the whole concept, giving like quick advice to a field that I'm not really professional in, as long as you pay everything to zero by the end of the month,
Yeah,
I mean
you're
like
fine.
to zero, not wait it out for the next month, you'll be fine. Like you won't be hit with that 21%.
Right.
But if
also-
you add it up and stack it and you're using more than 30% of your credit line, then you're going to see it kind of like stack up every single month because
Yeah.
you're not paying it down.
Also, I'd say don't just pay the minimum, right? I think say if you have that due date on the 15th or the 30th and the minimum is 30, don't pay 30. Pay like 100, 200.
I don't think that advice is sound anymore.
You
I
don't think so?
It's not. I do think as long as your credit line's under 30%, you should try to focus on that, and try to pay a little bit more frequently, like every week or every 2 weeks. But yeah, that's I think theoretically that sounded sound. as like a solid advice. Well, as I've done more research, especially like after graduating college, it's like that doesn't matter. Like what you put in, as long as your credit line is at a certain usage, you'll be
Right.
good.
But here's the thing though, because I always pay my credit card off in full, right? And
Hmm.
some of the time, credit card goes up. But since I kept doing it consistently for like months and months and months, credit score will only go up like a point. Because
Yeah, that's
in
how it
their
works. Yeah.
yeah, because in their eyes, it's like, why do you even need a credit card? You paying this off in full shows us that you don't even need a credit card. Why are you even using us?
No, it doesn't show that. It shows healthiness because you would think because it goes a small percentage, but when you need to get a loan from your bank and they see what you've been doing, seeing that you pay on time is a plus. It's more of a history thing too. So they say, oh, you
Mm,
see, we because they do know this and whatever algorithm they look at, they do see that you're paying consistently and you're using X amount per month or per year. So yeah, don't get it so twisted with this number itself. That's over a period of time
yeah.
that gets higher, but also like what you're doing. Like if you ever get a car, if you get a used car and you finance it, which would be crazy, uh, like a 20K, and you put on 5 and you finance in 15. Like yeah, that'll be really nice on your credit. So whenever you get a new car in like 6 years after that, they say, oh, you've financed a car before in the past,
You're a
so you get these.
responsible person.
You're an adult. The theoretical version of an adult.
Yeah, you're right. But have you been watching anything new lately on any Netflix, Hulu?
Well, I've been watching Abbott Elementary. It's one of those very interesting shows. I think it started off slow, then it picked up fast in terms of the writing and the comedy. But I know it got approved for season 2. It's pretty much about a middle school in I think Philly. It's pretty funny. It's a comedy show. It's obviously documentary style, so very reminiscent of The Office and Parks and Recreation. And I think they do a great job so far. And another show I'm watching that just finished the season 1 is Grand Crew, which is a show
What's that?
about a black group of friends in LA.
Oh,
And I can tell you, this is me judging a book from its cover. I was not interested in that show based off the commercial.
what was wrong with the
I
commercial?
It just doesn't look good. It's like they took all the funny parts and put it in the commercial without the context
Mm,
because you don't know the characters. So they're pushing all the funny immediately, almost like a 90s TV movie trailer, right? They just throw the whole plot at you and you don't know what's going on.
okay.
And then I decided to watch the first episode and I thought this was like hilarious. It was perfect. So it was like 10 episodes. I watched it all. Probably one of my favorite shows of this year. So it goes to show you like commercials are still bad, same way as trailers are still bad. But
100%.
and yeah, Abbott Elementary. I mean, yeah, Abbott Elementary and The Grand Crew. They're both NBC shows.
Mm.
And of course, I just started watching Atlanta,
Oh, I saw the 2 episodes. I understand what you're talking about.
and hopefully we could do a quick review when season 3 is over because season 4 will start in the fall. So
Yes.
what about you? Are you
Well,
watching anything?
yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've seen so far was the Matthew Reeves deleted the Batman scene with the Joker, that interrogation scene regarding the Riddler. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. It was okay. I
Yeah,
see
I thought it
why
was cool.
it could have been in a movie. I think I agree that it was cut out the movie.
Yes, I agree that it was a good choice for this scene to be deleted. It was already a 3-hour movie, so yeah, you need to cut some damn corners, and I'm happy this was cut because it really didn't add much to the movie. I think they got something here with this new Joker. I'm not gonna lie. I do understand some people's not grievances but critiques of this new Joker. I know a lot of people are saying that oh he's just borrowing some stuff from Heath Ledger, and to be fair, I can see it. I can see it in how he speaks in some of his cadences. I can see that. On the other hand, the motherfucker is scary. I'm not gonna lie. His deformed face and his smile and his skin and the chemical burns. He is freaking frightening. I will give it to that man. I think it just needs some time to. I think he just needs some more time to flesh out that character. But it was cool to see it. It was cool to see the 5-minute deleted scene. And damn, man, Matt Reeves, man, hats off to him. Hat is off to him. And yeah, Mark Hamill's still my favorite Joker of all time. Immediately. Bar none.
I second that.
Bar none. If you want to talk about movies, I know people say Heath Ledger. I cannot argue that at all. I will never argue that. But for me, I always talk about this on Twitter. I always give it up to Mark Hamill and Batman the Animated Series. And the Batman fans, yeah, they respect that opinion as well. So all in all, everything is copacetic when it comes to that. I've been watching. Here's a new trend that's been circling lately when it comes to American documentaries, right? For the longest time, Bash, we as Americans love documentaries that revolved around gangsters, drug dealing, war, serial killers, absolutely. But the latest trend that I've been seeing a lot of, and I know you've been seeing a lot of too, is scamming. A lot of scam documentaries have been coming out. Of course, you have Inventing Anna. You have The Tinder Swindler. Recently, we talked about the Razzlecon couple a couple episodes ago. Go check that out, people, on blackseinfeld.com, where you get all your latest and greatest episodes and all Black Seinfeld podcasting platforms such as iTunes and Stitcher Radio and Spotify, etc., etc. Anyways, there's this new scamming documentary called Bad Vegan, right? And this documentary was about this woman who had this really well-known raw vegan restaurant here in New York City. She falls in love with this. She falls in love with this dude online because she is really good friends with Alec Baldwin. And so Alec Baldwin would be talking to this dude on Twitter. And this guy on Twitter made it seem like he was this rich, wealthy guy. And then so she meets up with him in person. Alec Baldwin didn't really introduce this man to her, but she just meets up with him in person. He's a little bit bigger than how he portrayed himself to be in the pictures. But, you know, he was flaunting out his money. They get married. And as soon as they get married, you know, he started bestowing some of his philosophies onto her about, you know, having this happily ever after and having her dog live immortal and she live immortal. And in order for her to, and he's a part of this like special ops Navy SEAL, so he's away all the time. And, you know, in order for him to be on the run, in order for him to, you know, get one up on his ops, she would have to send him money. And sooner or later, like, he took over her restaurant and he wasn't paying the employee, so they went on strike. And that woman lent that man at least like $6 million easily. And I'm just thinking to myself, Bastion, like, city boys are up, bruh. City boys are fucking up. Are you serious? Because how can she be that how can she be, even one, that naive, but two, she can't be that stupid. There's no way. There has to be a point where, like, you have to be responsible for this a little bit.
I think it's really hard to judge from the outside, right? Because in those scamming stories, there is a type of relationship. But
yeah, they're married, legit married.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. It's like there's a relationship, but also when it deals with personal financing, right? What you do with your money, especially as a, you know, since you said the magic word married, you're now one, right?
Yeah.
So everything is like this shared potluck. So what can you do? It's really hard to judge from the outside when you're talking about these things, especially like when it's a scam. In hindsight, it's a scam. But
Granted,
like when
Bastion, fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
But
in
when it gets
hindsight.
to 6 million, though, 6 million, where is when is enough enough? When is she gonna put? When are you gonna put your foot down and be like, okay, this is now 7 figures. You owe me 7 figures. This is ridiculous. My employees are walking out because they're not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? We're now living on the run because the feds are are coming after you. She didn't know this at all. Like, she was not in the know at all, but I look past through that. That's just me.
That's really weird because there's literally an Alec Baldwin movie similar to that.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's one of those like straight to streaming movies where
Oh,
Alec Baldwin's character flaunt this gorgeous lifestyle, the life of the party. She gets married into him. Something happens, and he owes so much money that the FBI like locks her account, locks her bank, and she lost all her money, lost her lifestyle, and it's just depressed. I forgot what the movie's called,
jeez.
but that's the point of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin is like the guy character.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, yo, I like your friend, and you kind of went through one of his movie plots. Just
That is
kind
kind of
of,
creepy.
yeah.
It's very apropos, really.
It's yeah, scamming is the new documentary wave.
But it's
I
also
because
it's the new illegal thing that people are doing now, and I think the reason why people are scamming, it's because it's you're not really putting yourself in that much, I want to say, harm. It's not as, yes, you're taking a risk, but it's not as risky as drug dealing is. You've seen all the movies, you hear all the raps and the rhymes about how hard it is to be on the block drug dealing. Scamming, you can sit in the comfort of your own home, get these cards,
it's all about confidence.
exactly, get these swipes. It's all about confidence. Do you look the part? Can you dress the part? Can you freaking trick all these 1% people into giving you money? And I think people gravitate towards that because, one, they make it seem so easy. But you have to have that confidence within yourself that, damn, I say you have to have that Kanye West level of confidence in yourself that you are the ish and you deserve it. You need it. Okay, you need to
I'll
be
call it a
better.
little bit of confidence and a little bit of arrogance to power up the confidence.
And sociopath thickness as well.
Yeah, I think so too. You gotta see yourself as a god at some point in time.
Yeah,
If you don't, you're just going to just bow down to someone else.
I agree. I
Well,
definitely agree.
quick question about documentaries.
Shoot.
In terms of scams, what was the one with Ja Rule in it with the
The
island?
Fire Festival.
Would you consider that a scam
Oh,
or just
100%. That is definitely a scam. I saw both documentaries, the one on Hulu where they actually interview the guy, Billy, and I
yeah?
saw the Netflix version. That is 100% a scam because and I believe in both documentaries, they talk about him sort of like, the modern day Wolf of Wall Street, because here he was promising yachts and huts and this badass lineup and all of these gorgeous ass models at this one festival, and then when they get there, you remember what kids were eating? Remember that picture of the cheese sandwich?
Yeah,
That's what they got, baby. That is a
they're eating
scam.
a Michelle Obama era food lunch.
Absolutely. They're eating from the food wheel.
Oh yeah, food wheel. Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
Post triangle. We outside.
Yeah, no pyramids, baby. It's all about the food wheel. So yeah, he's definitely one of the first, not one of the first, but he's definitely one of the first documentary scammers that we've learned about. Jordan Belfort, that's more stocks, like Bernie Madoff and all that. But the modern day era, that's definitely Billy and the whole Fire Festival thing, and Ja Rule. We're putting Ja Rule's ass in that too. Absolutely.
Interesting. And this one that quickly get into the subject of nonsense.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do a quick COVID update, but New York edition. Even though I'm not there, I'm always keeping an eye out in the streets.
That's right.
Your mayor, I can say that now, right? Can I say your mayor?
Nick, it's only been 2 weeks. Relax.
So the mayor Eric Adams created a new exemption last week to exempt New York City-based professional athletes and performers from citywide mandates. He says he's leveling the playing field. And it's funny because both the NBA and its union expressed like support for the change,
Mm-hmm.
while the presidents of the Yankees and the Mets, like who also has like unvaccinated players, they'll be able to kind of start practicing in the field. And game one is around the corner, so they're
Yes.
all on Adam's side. They probably like poke them around and say, hey, we gotta get around this rule. I understand the corporations, but we're not like them. We're entertainers. We make money for the city.
Well, I would
Not
like to.
really, but
I would
it's
like.
a us team.
I would like to commend the NHL for taking the whole COVID-19 vaccination very seriously because they did not do that BS. So on one hand, I would like to commend the NHL. On the other hand, on a very biased hand, I'd like to shout out Eric Adams this one time for coming out with this new mandate, excusing the entertainers, excusing the athletes, because there is a lot of MLB players, Bastion. I don't know if you know this. There's a lot of MLB players that did not take the vaccine. So our players in New York, Yankees and Mets would have been screwed this year. So I guess good for them. So we could go see some baseball games. But I guess the big story coming out of this is that, the modern day Muhammad Ali himself, the one who has protested this vaccination from the very beginning, and he stood for what he believed in, and I admire that, Bastion. I know you're rolling your eyes, you're looking at me in disgust, but I gotta commend Kyrie Irving for sticking to what he believed in, just like how Muhammad Ali didn't want to go to Vietnam and they stripped him of the title, and then he came back in the 70s and whooped George Foreman's grilling candy ass for the heavyweight title again. Kyrie is coming back, and he's coming back strong. He's gonna drop 60. We're gonna go to the playoffs because we're still in that top 8, baby. We're still in the top 8 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So not to worry. The Brooklyn Nets are gonna be here. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this for Brooklyn. We're gonna do this for New York. You know what I'm saying? A church.
Yeah, Kyrie won. That's pretty much where I have to agree with you there.
Shout out to Kyrie.
I said this in the beginning. I said out of all people, because Wiggins was against doing the vaccine, and the city of Golden State was like, San Francisco was like, no, like you're not even allowed to play. You don't even try to come out here. And then he ended up getting the vaccine before the season started. But Kyrie, I knew even when the Nets organization said he will not play, that he will find a way to come back, and he did within given time. I think after the first 30 games, the Nets weren't doing so great. They need to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't 30. Maybe the first 40 games, 45 games or so.
Yeah, the Nets were horrid.
He came back.
For away
it's really
games.
hard to balance away games, but it's only 50-50. So he's doing like a part-time job. So he came back only playing away games. And that, it shows that he's still Kyrie. Kyrie's still one of the best players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew still to this day that he would not get the vaccine. He's just stronger than everybody.
He is.
Mentally, he understands. And they asked him, it's like, he's good. If they kicked him out the NBA to this day, he will be fine. Yes, he said he has enough wealth and money to last him his like generational wealth. And when you have that state of mind, especially as a black man, it's a little bit different. So I was like, all right, I disagree with everything he does in his point of view with certain, Hotep Street type stuff.
Hey, man,
but I
agree.
do respect him as like a player. I respect him as man. Like he does a lot of philanthropy and a lot of support for a lot of communities and stuff. So that's where I'm like 50-50 with Kyrie. Like I respect him in some aspects, in other aspects, I feel like dissing him.
There's one
So
thing that
yeah.
y'all are forgetting when it comes to Kyrie. All right, Kyrie is a flat earther, people.
No, he was. He
He
was.
was,
He's not. He doesn't talk that talk anymore.
but
But he did. He changed up. He changed up.
my point is, when you
Yeah.
deal with people like that, okay, and you try to use logic and science, they're going to ignore the logic and the science, and they're still going to have their beliefs, you know? So if Kyrie feels like you're going to mutate by taking this vaccine, he's going to believe that, okay? And he's going to stick to his morals. He's going to stick to his values. He's going to stick to his guns. And if he said he's not going to do something, he is not going to do something like take that vaccine. So I commend Kyrie Irving because not everyone is in that same position as Kyrie. You know, a black man who has millions, okay? And you know, wouldn't get hurt if he stops playing basketball anymore because Kyrie said it. He just does this to get money now. He just does this for a check. This isn't his real passion like that anymore. Kyrie's real passion is with the youth. Kyrie's real passion is his philanthropy, you know? That's the truth when it comes to Kyrie. So I respect Kyrie Irving. That's right, people. I'm a Kyrie fan. I'm a Kyrie stan. Well, not a stan, but I'm a Kyrie fan, okay? And I commend Kyrie for sticking to what he believed in. And I remember telling my clients when Kyrie couldn't play, I'm like, look, it is a requirement in order for you to work here, sir, ma'am. You have to be fully vaccinated in order to work here. If Kyrie can't play, guess what? You can't work here. But now that Kyrie can play, my new argument is, well, hey, can you drop 60 points? Absolutely not. He gets that special
Do you have
treatment.
a ring?
Do you have a ring? Absolutely not, okay? This man is going to bring a championship here to Brooklyn, okay? To the city, the real city. All right? Can you do that, sir or ma'am? I don't think so. So that's why Kyrie gets the exemption, okay?
Hey, like I said, out of all people, I knew he'll be the only one that could do it. And I can say he's stronger than everybody else. I will always say that. I hate it. I disagree, but I think I made the right bet. If there was like a bet in the beginning of the year, it's like who will turn first, the NBA or Kyrie? I'll say the NBA, 100%.
100%.
They will bend backwards during this we don't like vaccines era, which is whatever, man. Anyways, let's get into the first song of the week.
Sure, bud. We can get into the first song of the week. I was going to continue with Eric Adams because he's been nasty.
Hey, if you have some things to throw, like what up? What? Let me know.
Oh, sure. Yo, you saw that video of that actress Cara Denvillage and Eric Adams listening to A$AP Rocky?
Yeah, because A$AP Rocky was there too.
I know. I know he was there. I just thought the whole clip was nasty. I thought it was nasty.
It was an event for I don't recall. It's one of those banks.
Was it Goldman Sachs?
No, it was the one that got in trouble with all the other
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo, yeah.
Yeah. Can't say we didn't know that. We talked about that a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we spoke about it back in the day.
Yeah, we did speak about that. Okay, I just thought it was gross as normal. You know, Eric Adams, the damn residential cop mayor that he is, wants to, kick out the homeless people, but then go hang out with Wells Fargo and listen to your boy A$AP. That was sick, Bash, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a credit card party.
Have A$AP tap dancing up there, but won't give black people loans, right? Right, Wells Fargo. That's what's hot in these streets.
Okay, so like rents continue to skyrocket. This is from the Curbed article. But relief in sight. Now you could earn points back for paying rent with your Wells Fargo Blight credit card.
Blight credit card? So does that mean Black Plight credit card?
That's crazy. That's hilarious though.
That is sick. Yo, Eric Adams is a sick one.
And Wyclef was there too.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, and Floyd Mayweather. I saw him there too.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. But Wyclef?
Yeah, this is hilarious. I don't know. There's some things like we were going to get into it. Celebrities are weird, but advertisers using celebrities is even weirder when they don't have any cross brand appeal.
Yeah,
So I always disagree with those type of things. But I think, and also I've been reading a report about this is something that Eric Adams discussed quickly about using drone technology,
I heard about that. They
and
talked
he
about
was
that today in the office.
so just to quickly talk about drone technology. Like drones are great for like movies, right?
Yes, drone
It's great.
shots are incredible.
I think what drone strikes has done to like the YouTube community has been great because now you're getting better angles and better shots that you need a crane for.
He means drone shots, people, not drone strikes,
No,
Bastion.
no, like drone. That's a YouTube. I hope the
I know.
context is there. Okay, so the drone film recorded shoots.
Good, good. This man said drone strikes. Dude, what?
I didn't say strikes. I said shots.
You said strikes, man.
No, I did not say strikes.
You
You
said
said strikes.
strikes, man.
I will replay this episode.
Replay
all right?
it.
That would be wild if I say that. Well, that says a lot because we're in the era, right?
Yeah, we are.
Obama got the most drone strikes, right?
He did.
So YouTube has a lot of great drone film. Like if you're watching like a car race and you're watching people in the beach or something angled in the city, drone cameras and film has been really great for that. So that's what I like drones for.
Right.
Of course, there's the whole war aspect and how drones is terrible. But this is WBAI. You can listen to a lot of shows that discuss those, especially during the Obama era.
Yeah, but personal filming though, it's incredible. It's completely game changing when it comes to creators.
So another thing is like, no, we corporate. Sometimes we work for corporate. There are, companies that will focus on building drones, then using those drones for, let's say, war, right? Or using those drones for film, or even using those drones for surveillance. Now, recently, a surveillance drone company had a meeting with Mayor Eric Adams, especially with other people, and they're pretty much like showing what their technology could do, especially for the city. It's like this is interesting because I had to dig in a couple articles to make sure like what type of drone are you talking about. It says no weapons on it and no facial recognition either. And I said, see, I understand the no weapon, you could sell that, but the facial recognition is very suspicious. I feel like they'll promote saying like we don't store facial recognition, but the cameras are so clear that they will just like screenshot like a face, and then from there you're looking at it. It's like,
of course,
but it's going to be to a point where like maybe the first 5 updates is like we don't have the technology for it. Then boom, now we could do facial recognitions the same way if you go into the airport, they know who you are when you walk in.
I feel very differently, Bastion. They 100% have the technology for facial recognition immediately.
No, I think they don't have it yet as a massive scale.
Wait, that company? Fair.
That company. There, okay. See, that's what I mean. It's like fair. You don't have it yet.
Fair.
You don't have it yet because you need a lot of cloud technology and you need funding. You need a lot of money. So you need people to believe in the product first before you get there.
I believe, though, if they sell this to the city, I think the city would fund that immediately. Look at what else. The city fund fake dogs, for crying out loud. All right.
I don't know what happened to those.
I've seen them.
They just like bought like 5 and they realized like, I don't know how to work it. I have to read the manual.
This is a stupid ass idea. We should use regular canines. Yeah, probably. That's probably it. But if they have the money to fund artificial canines, you already know for a fact they're going to cut more educational funding and supply them the money they need to do facial recognition on a massive New York City scale, because there's like 8 million people here in the city now. Oh, absolutely. Bastion, I don't know if you've ever read 1984 from George Orwell, but hey, if that technology gets sold, hey, this is Big Brother in the making, my man.
The thing is, like, we already have that technology, that Big Brother, because if you go on Flatbush, if you go on Jamaica Avenue, there are cameras on the side of the lighting, and it's already there. So I don't know what a surveillance drone will do. I think it's like one of those things we already have the invention for it. You know, if like the Instagram algorithm is selling you a cylinder to put your aluminum foil, but when you buy the aluminum foil, it comes in the box already. Like, why would I need to buy this? Why would I need a refillable if I gotta throw the box out? It's like these are
That
things that
makes
we already
sense.
have. It's kind of useless.
I guess it's gonna be on a major Black Mirror esque scale.
We're already there, man. I just found that part very interesting. I think this was just a small conversation that he had. I don't think this will come to fruition like within the next 2 years. Maybe it could be a term two type thing because each drone is pieced between 70 to 100K. So, so basically a nice car.
If they vote for him, yeah, that's a Bentley
So, yeah. Uh,
base
it's
model.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to get that second vote. The way he's charging up everything right now, I disagree with everything he's doing. But
Oh yeah, you see what he's doing with the homeless? It's like, oh
yeah,
yeah, we have the problem to fix crime in America and homelessness. Kick their asses out. Okay, where are they gonna go?
and arrests a few. I think he
Yeah,
arrested like maybe roughly 20 or 30%,
like
if I recall.
yeah, they are. And like you see what like dude, they're now sleeping in they're sleeping in stairways in project buildings. Like, bruh, this isn't good. Like this is
Yeah,
bad. This is bad, Eric Adams. Fucking
yeah,
cop.
the cop. All right, let's
You know,
get
let's get into
this.
some music,
Yeah,
bro.
the first song of the week,
Yes.
Danger, Mystical.
Tell
Check it out.
people how you found this though.
Well, I was going off the energy of the next topic we're going to discuss,
Right.
and I just needed something a little bit more flair. And I was just going through a bunch of like R&B songs and just random music, and I just saw Mystical. And there's another song he did. I heard that first,
Shake your
but it
ass.
didn't. Yeah, that one. But
Yeah,
it's like
that
this
ain't it.
isn't the hook that I'm thinking about. He did another song, then Danger. Then I found it like a second after. It's like this is it. This is the song
Featuring Nevaeh, we got to give her her credit.
for real. Check it out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mystical, Nevaeh, Danger. Been so long. And Bastion, I was playing the video the whole time in the background, and man, this is a great video.
Oh yeah,
My man was in the desert. Freaking Superhead is in the video. I forgot about that. I'm like,
outlandish.
oh my god. I wonder if after the shoot,
Nah,
mystical. He,
nah,
he came. He's on the list now.
nah. I think because he's not on the list, nothing happened.
Ah, damn it. Okay, but yeah, they're in the desert, and then there's this. I guess he has a mirage, and there's this house, and he and the Nevaeh go in there, and there's just a lot of bitches in the in the house, and there's a chicken with a snake, and she's belly dancing. It's a great video.
It's a wild video.
There's a lot of chocolate in there. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful video. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, so hey, are we gonna talk about the Academy Awards now, or are we gonna talk about this pill first?
Let's get straight to the Academy Awards.
All right, man. Let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna do a nice build up to, of course, the inevitable thing that we're all tired of listening to. But anyways, the 94th anniversary of the Academy Awards came to us live this past Sunday. The three hosts were Miss Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer, and Regina Hall as hosts. I thought they did. They're okay. It was fine. I didn't like the fact that they made Regina Hall this sex crazed single woman. I didn't appreciate it like that. I thought, all right, I thought it was too much for me personally. But other than that, it's no secret, people. The Academy Awards, year after year, has been dwindling with viewerships. Every year, viewerships and ratings have been plummeting. And we all know the reason why. It's the same thing with the Grammys. It's the same with a lot of the award shows now. People, do not care, and they don't want these awards to dictate what we deem to be good. Okay? And the thing with movies in particular, there's two kinds of moviegoers, right? There's the pretentious Citizen Kane is the best film ever made kinds of people, which I can speak that sort of cinematography shots and camera shots,
Rosebud.
and I can speak that with them, but they're too damn pretentious and they suck. And then the casual viewers, they'll go break box office records by watching the latest Marvel movie or the latest DC movie or the latest blockbuster movie, right? So
Hey, Blade Runner 2049. It didn't make any money.
it didn't make any money.
I love that movie.
I know it's like what 5 hours long. It's just talking.
Slow as hell, but perfect.
Yeah, yeah, but some people like action. People want either movies to be an hour and 30 long with a lot of action and a lot of stuff going on. And I understand your taste in movies too, but I think what a lot of, just regular casual moviegoers go for, they don't go for that because sometimes in this ADHD forsaken time now, I think they want a lot of things to be thrown at them. I don't think a lot of people can just sit down and just watch long movies. However, I think superhero movies are doing a great job in like preparing people to actually sit down longer watching movies. I think that's the great bridge of having people like training people into staying longer and watching movies for dialogue and sitting there for long durations of time. Of course, you have movies like Endgame, you have The Batman, Dune, of course, which won a lot of Academy Awards, and a lot of it is for the aesthetics for Dune. So, for example, best visuals, best sound, best score, best.
Oh, Hans Zimmer won again.
Yeah, they won again. All of the special effects, it all went to Dune because aesthetically, it's a beautiful movie. So I expected Dune to win most of those categories, and it did.
I think I saw someone make a joke on Twitter that they won all the Marvel made awards.
That is very true. It did win all of the Marvel or Disney made awards, like Star Wars when it comes to like score, because Dune won for best score as well.
No, I mean like 3D effects and.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it won those, right?
But also like Disney will win for like best score too.
Yeah.
And Dune won for best score as well. But here's something that it's funny that you mention Marvel movies again when it comes to winning best like effects and all that stuff and costume or whatever, because the Academy is trying to do something new where they're trying to implement, fan favorite movies where they do Twitter polls of fans' favorite movies. So they don't win an Oscar, but the Academy will give them like a nice pat on the back, basically. And so that plan sort of backfired because there was the fan favorite cheering moments. I know that sounds stupid, but the cheering moments were the parts in movies where something epic happened and people clapped for it. For example, there's like a top 5 list. So like, for example, number 4 was the Spider-Man finally teaming up in Spider-Man No Way Home, right? There was also the freaking Jennifer Hudson's Dreamgirls song was in that top 5 as well. That was like number 3. Number 2 was Avengers Endgame, where the Avengers come back from the freaking portal and like they're all together and they're getting ready to like.
Sounds very lame.
It is super lame. But guess what's number 1 though?
What's number 1?
The freaking Snyder Cut is number 1 for best cheering.
What's the cheer in Snyder Cut? It's like 4 hours long.
When the freaking Flash was running, I guess. Like,
and that was awesome. Yeah,
but that's
great.
better than the freaking Endgame one? Are you serious? Are you high?
Better than the Endgame one? No. Well, there's a difference between watching a 4-hour film and getting very great climax moment.
That is true.
Compare watching like 8-10 years of work getting a very crazy climax moment. So I can't compare the two, but it gives me the same feeling.
Plus, that Snyder Cut was only on HBO Max. That wasn't in the movies because COVID. So screw that noise. Also,
Yeah,
Snyder won
that one's
again.
great.
Snyder also won again for the best fan favorite movie, which was Army of Dead, starring Batista, which was the zombie movie. So like Spider-Man got shafted twice.
Hey man, it's just a game we play.
It,
Oh, okay. I get it now.
mm-hmm.
This is all just a ploy.
It's just
or
a ploy.
nonsense.
It's just a ploy so the casual movie viewers can try and watch the Oscars because again, casual movie viewers isn't gonna watch Power of the Frickin' Dog, which I'm happy it only won one Academy Award, but it
Power
irked
of the
me.
freaking dog. What was that? Power of the dog?
Power of the Dog, yeah, that's the one with Benedict Cumberbatch and Kristen Dunst and Jesse Plemons. It's the
You didn't
1800s.
like that?
I freaking loathed that movie. It sucked. I hated it. I did not like it one bit. The only cool part was the end where I'm not yeah, screw it. I'm gonna spoil it. The cool part of it was when freaking Doctor Strange dies and it came out that the kid killed him for being a dick to him. That's the only part that I enjoyed. That was the payoff. It leaded all that up for us to realize like, oh, the kid freaking killed him. That was cool. That was it.
What was the movie called?
Power of the Dog. It's on Netflix.
Interesting. Might check it out. I like Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons is one of the best actors out here. Of course, he started out in 2002 where he bullied little Calvin Cambridge in the orphanage, and he found out that it was in the sneakers that Calvin played really well. That Calvin played like Mike. See what I did there, Bastion? Like Mike.
I heard you. Another thing that I saw about especially what people were commenting is they did show a lot of awards before showing the award show. So instead of announcing certain awards on TV, they just played it before the award show started.
Yes.
I thought that was lame.
I guess the reason why they did that was because there's always a fight for time when it comes to award shows, especially when it comes to the Academy Award. Because remember, like they would always do the lovely orchestral music whenever a person would take way too long on their speech. So in order to prevent that, they would have pre-recorded clips in there of different awards and people receiving and accepting the awards. I thought it was smart.
I don't know. I feel like they could just speed up the process where, boom, comment, boom, announce an award, boom, comment, boom, announce award, commercial, boom, comment, announce award. They don't do that. They need like performers and stuff. Why?
Right, but no. What happens when
You know what I
like
mean?
6 of the freaking people come up there and accept their Academy Awards and everyone wants to say something? Nah.
No.
Let's keep it
They
going.
understand that, but I mean, like, you put a time limit of 3 or 4 minutes onto it, but then you can move to the next scene. It's because those commercials take like 3 minutes,
That is true.
and then you're doing a music thing that's like an 8-minute scene.
Because the best freaking song for a movie that's synonymous with the Academy Awards. Okay, let's not forget "It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp" by 3 6 Mafia won a damn Academy Award, and that is still the best win in Oscars history. I don't care what you say, 100%. Are you crazy? Academy Award winning Juicy J out here. Think about
Crazy.
that, Bash. An Academy Award winning Black Seinfeld. Do you know how disrespectful I will be after that? Are you crazy?
Yeah,
What?
it's very hard for you to do.
What? Exactly. Freaking Monique got one. Academy Award winning Monique. Just saying. It sounds different.
So speaking of a comedian, let's get into the moment.
Yes, the moment where, Questlove got his freaking shine completely taken away for that incredible documentary that you wanted me to see, Bastion, and I saw a lot of commercials of it in the theaters, and you reminded me to watch it, and I saw it. Great freaking documentary, Summer of Soul, but that it got tarnished. It got tarnished by a moment which has been consistently talked about ever since. And I'm not going to lie to you, the very Monday, I'd say afternoon, I got sick of it immediately. So much so that I had to mute the words Will Smith, Chris Rock, Jada, Slap, Academy Awards, and that actually helped for 24 hours, and then it came back in full vengeance. But Chris Rock came out, and he was going to present the award for the best documentary film. And of course, Chris Rock being a comedian, he's making jokes. He's joking about Javier Bardem, and he's joking about his partner, Penelope Cruz. And then he goes into the Smiths, and he says, "Oh, hey, Jada, G.I. Jane 2 coming out soon." And and Will started laughing, and then all of a sudden, well, Jada wasn't laughing. Will gets up, all of a sudden. Okay, and then after that, I thought initially the slap was fake, Bastion. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I knew it wasn't fake immediately when it went silent, especially for America, right? Because you can't really curse in America like that when it comes to television, especially like national television, cable television. Can't curse, right? So once the production truck took away the sound, I knew something was up. I knew this was definitely real. So here's the thing when it comes to live television or even live radio, right? What you're hearing right now is a delay, actually, ladies and gentlemen. So just in case if I curse, there's a delay button so it can pick that up way before you even listen to it. So if I curse, you're probably going to hear a bleep, or you're going to hear, I don't know what the hell y'all hear, but that just helps us. That gives us some extra time to give us a little bit of wiggle room to edit whatever it needs to be edited. So that's why if you were watching the Academy Awards live and the sound was down, it's because there's a bit of delay during the live television viewing of it. So I knew once that happened, Bastion, I knew this was very real. And for the rest of the freaking Academy Awards, it was awkward. Not gonna lie, it was awkward. And then what made matters even worse was when Will Smith won his first Academy Award for King Richard, for Best Male Actor for King Richard. And he got up on stage and he's crying and he's talking about King Richard, how Richard Williams loved his family. He would do everything to protect his family. He started crying, and he alluded to an apology, but not really an apology. He basically apologized to the Academy. You know what I'm saying, Bastion? Like, for example, if I smack someone in your house, I'm going to apologize for you for smacking him in your house. You see what I'm saying? Instead of actually apologizing to the person I smacked. That's what Will did. Bill was on Big Willie style that day. You know what I'm saying? I think the rest of the event was overshadowed over that slap that was heard across the world, across the globe. And yeah, it overshadowed everything, such as this is Will Smith's first ever Academy Award win, which I guess I had a fever dream, honestly, because I swore he won for Ali and I swore he won for Pursuit of Happiness, but I was wrong. I don't know who won during those years, but I thought Will Smith definitely like won two of them, but this was his first one. So I guess he's like Black Leonardo DiCaprio or something, because damn, I didn't know that.
Interesting. Yeah, it's you're right. After the first 24 hours, I definitely got sick of seeing people's opinions on stuff. I do like watching opinions on certain events, right? But Mr. Big Willie style, and maybe it's only funny that like he started off as a rapper first, so this innate pettiness is still in you even years after separation from the music.
And
That's
he's
the
also
first
still
thought I had.
he's also still, I think also I thought of the Dave Chappelle joke. Will Smith is still a nigga from Philly, from West Philly, and he still does some real nigga from time to time. He still does some West Philly-ish from time to time. So at first I was shocked that it happened, but did I like look down on Will, and was I ashamed of Will for doing that? Nah, cause like, you know, the nigga from Philly, like what do you expect?
The way I look at it is I think I don't even want to talk about who's in the wrong or right
Oh,
here
I don't
because
care about any of
I,
that.
I don't care
Me
to talk
neither.
about it. And I feel like it's everybody else's fault for making me not care because I've seen so many nonsensical
Oh,
opinions.
bruh.
I think the worst ones, if you really want to like grind your gears, is just like put like a slap next to Ukraine and to see how many S9 like nonsensical comments you could get from just comparing this one event to a war that's going on right now.
Oh, that's
Just
interesting.
mind-boggling, and I do think it's a lot anti-black and racism. Anybody that makes those type of comments is like, it's you're kind of self-telling on yourself.
Well,
It's like a
Amy Schumer
self-report.
told on herself too, because she was triggered.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of self-report. I think the things that people are commenting about calling it like an assault, this and that, it's like it's straight up self report because you wouldn't talk about if a white person would have done that sort of thing. You'll be pointing badly about it, but now talking putting this on such a higher level, especially with two known actors and comedians,
Black actors at that.
black actors is that. And then, the hypotheticals. Once you're just getting into the hypotheticals, that's why I know you're really insane. And that has to do a lot with Twitter. And it has to, I think it's always been like that, but it's terrible. It's like, what happened if that was so and so? How would you feel? It's like, what happened with the worst one? How would you feel if Will Smith did that to Joe Rogan? Like Joe Rogan would like beat him up. It's like, no, it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't
Those
happen.
hypotheticals don't happen because one, Will Smith and Chris Rock know each other. They
Right.
probably invited themselves for dinner at one point in time. That's what made this an emotional event. But what I got out of everything, and this is my like full on comment, is Will Smith immortalized a very quick witted joke that no one remembered after he said it because we have this thing called short term memory,
That is
right?
true.
He said a joke, ha, move along. There is a moment of time where you could immortalize something by putting a short, like a very crazy event that made you want to analyze the whole entire text of what happened before and after said event.
Because G.I. Jane is a really good movie.
So the for me, the way I look at it is Will Smith messed up because yeah, it was a bad joke. Yeah, he felt offended for his wife, especially what she's going through with alopecia and shaving her head, and he dealt with it by slapping him. But it's like, but you make things worse because now we know the joke. Now you immortalize the joke.
People are gonna rewatch G.I. Jane.
So now everybody understands what led to that moment and what, this is the after effect. We're still going to be an after effect. I'm hoping like this is just like most things where it lasts for a week on Twitter and we forget about it. But we got to wait till the end of the week. But the way I look at it, it's like he immortalized a comment that we forgot because of our short-term memories, because it was such a quick-witted joke that nobody will remember. Because I'm in LA, I went to
The
one
Hollywood
of the
Walk of Fame.
museums. No, before that, I went to a museum, and in the museum, there's a part of the museum where I think it's like their version of the MoMA, the Film Academy Museum, and there's a part of the Oscars, and in the room with the Oscars, it shows like actual Oscars that they're borrowing from certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a room where they're showing events, clips and scenes of certain interviews, not even interviews, speeches, and the Academy goes to da right? That's all they're playing, and the Academy goes to da. It's like you don't hear the comments that they're reading from the teleprompter, wasting a minute of your time. It's going straight to, and the winner is, because that's what's immortalized in those type of contexts. It's immortalized. The winner is speech, done. That's what's immortalized in any type of those type of shows. We get, the one of the most immortalized part is Kanye West, right? I would like to see Will Smith comment on Kanye West. I want to see if he said something around that when he spoke about with Taylor Swift, right?
Right. Right.
It's like the Taylor Swift won. He ran up there, and now we know like the context of the before and after.
And now Black America knows who Taylor Swift is. Forever.
So yeah, it's like maybe Will Smith has to disappear for a year and come back with a really dope movie in order for everybody to kind of forget.
I mean, I do
But
hear I Am Legend 2 is coming out, and I hate that idea.
that's like, if you need to talk to someone that knew how to kind of get around it and try to get like, get the right people to forgive him, you got to talk to my man Kanye, because right now he's on his fourth terrible arc, and some way around, if he comes back with Donda 2 for streaming platform, he'll get around it. But my whole thing is my final comment on the matter, if you want to add yours, if you want to continue,
Yeah, I will.
is he immortalized a moment that no one ever remembers. No one knows those scenes ever.
Right.
They know the afterwards, like the winner goes to blah 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 blah, speech done. That's immortalized. You now put context on before the award for the best documentary.
You muffed up Questlove.
Chris Rock. Yeah, so you messed up Questlove's thing, but at the certain point in time too, I feel like people are allowing this to mess up the night at the same time, because we can still talk about these great moments, but now you're saying it messed up the night. It's okay, but can you talk about the moment then? Can you talk, because they still were able to get their speech off? Can you talk about that? No, it messed up the night. It's like, you're right, you're the one writing the article. Now everybody's going to say it messed up the night. No one's really pushing that one moment, but like I said, it's just context.
Yeah. I want to say, Bastion, I'm not going to be one to speculate of, what if, Chris Rock and the Smiths had this underlying beef and underlying tension for X amount of years, and that's why Will Smith did it, or, Jada was embarrassing Will for the past 2 years because the whole entanglement thing. I mean, we talked about the whole entanglement thing back in 2020, and it's 2022. I'm not even going to do any of that, right? Because I think that's pretty easy, and everyone's been doing that already.
It's like they've been embarrassing themselves for the past 3 years, and someone made a comment and you felt the need to slap them. I don't know. You've been embarrassing yourself for 3 years.
I don't know. I think everyone was thinking like that was the joke that set it over the edge. This is the Harvey Dent live long enough to see yourself become the villain moment with Will Smith. Like, he just had enough or whatever, and pretty soon we're gonna see him dust off the old red table and bring themselves to the damn red table talk and whatever. This is going to be the return of the damn table talk on, what was it, Facebook? Yep, Facebook.
It'll be really good. I would watch.
That would be sick.
It would be nasty.
That would be horrid.
Talk about Chris Rock and the documentary he did about hair and how it's a comment on black women buying hair. I'm reading every hey, I hate everything that's going on, but I am reading certain think pieces written by certain black people.
And the fact that he would joke on a black woman, it's so disrespectful. And then you're seeing he's a comedian, it's his job to make jokes. Well, what did Zach Fox say? Hey, you have the freedom to make a joke, but also people have the freedom to react however they choose to react to.
And in Chris Rock's words, no one's above an ass whooping.
No one is above an ass whooping. Absolutely not. I agree with all sides. I just thought it was sick how I automatically knew that these like weirdo alpha male podcasts was going to use this immediately. Talk about how Will was at his breaking point. Like, Kevin Samuels couldn't wait to get that off. Kevin Samuels couldn't wait.
I don't think he was at the breaking point. I do think
I don't either.
I forgot who wrote this, but they were talking about how it has a lot to do with like male ego and being fragile, especially at certain moments, because at a certain point it is ego to do something. Him doing the walk and the slap is the ego trip.
Yeah. Because
the best thing you could do is talk about it in the after party. You know what I mean? It's like most of these things, like you could like fight them in the after party.
Yeah, if Will Smith smacked him in the after party, this wouldn't be that big of a news. But because it was in the Academy Awards, full of the white people, this is the white people's house. People are making it as big as it is now, and you have all these celebrities, which Black Twitter has been lurking at y'all. I'm not saying any names, but Black Twitter is they are royalty at I end up conjuring up all your past controversies and all the BS that y'all used to do when giving your little sense into the whole Will Smith situation. I think I commend Black Twitter for their royalty of conjuring up all the BS y'all used to do. I think, yeah, if it didn't happen anywhere else except for the Oscars, we wouldn't have this conversation like that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't care enough about it. I think I went through my my oh my god moment with the Kanye West Taylor Swift, because that's the first time, I'm young. What is it, 2009 when that happened?
Yeah, and I was like
15.
Yeah, that was the Michael Jackson tribute VMAs too.
Yeah, I don't remember anything after that.
Oh, I remember it freaking vividly. Russell Brand was hosting. This was the Michael Jackson tribute show. Janet Jackson was gonna do all the dances and crap.
Never mind. I do remember.
Mm-hmm. I remember I remember the performances. It was Beyonce. It was Taylor. It was Muse. Lady Gaga made her debut at the VMA. I remember that vividly. 2009 VMAs was a good ass VMAs, man.
So you got a drunk Kanye doing crazy stuff.
Off the Henny Kanye.
That's my twist of an event. I've seen my favorite artists, especially of all time, do something crazy. And I love Will Smith. He's not my favorite actor of all time, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air definitely, shaped how I looked at certain things.
It made an impact on the culture, Bash.
Yeah, it's when to code switch, and when why code switch here? I'm just gonna be me. Right? That's what Fresh Prince of Bel-Air means to me.
Exactly. This isn't Will Smith's first time of smacking niggas though. He's notorious for doing this.
So like I said, I don't have any mental emotion to ever write a think piece about it.
Same.
No. We have this podcast, this radio show to create a comment for us to look back to at a certain point in time. And just for people to listen, it's yeah, I agree or I disagree with the opinion. I look at it as
we don't care.
Something immortal. It's going to be immortalized in history. You better come out with 2 or 3 good movies for us to forget everything, and we should be good. I'm waiting for 3 years from now. I already forgive him 3 years in the future.
I freaking forgive Will Smith. I honestly, if I know that the Academy Award, they're going to be holding this meeting about Will Smith's actions, and I know they're going to
make him beg. I hope he doesn't do that. I think that's even nastier.
I hope they don't suspend or ban this dude. I hope they don't take away.
I hope they do.
You hope they ban him?
No, because it's one of those things where we have to do away with the Oscars, do away with these award shows.
That's not happening, Bastion, and you know it.
This has to be the this has to be the turning point where we just don't care anymore.
Well, we already don't care, and the ratings already reflect that. The only reason why we're talking about the Oscars is because of this moment. If Will Smith let it go and he smacks Chris Rock up at the after party, we wouldn't dare talk about the Oscars. I'd be the only one talking about it.
No, but it was revered even weeks before the Oscars. They were discussing certain people that were known for the time, and the only Oscar they ever got was either after they died or years of great work that we never gave you an Oscar for.
That is true. Leo DiCaprio freaking had to beat up a damn grizzly bear in order to get a damn Oscar. Fair enough.
So those type of things,
Will Smith had to be the Williams sister.
Award shows and just look at it. It's a privileged thing. You have to go around. You have to showboat. They eating dinner with you in order for them to vote for your movie. That's how these things are done. It's not equal. We're in America. There's no democracy. It's not a popular vote.
It's not a popular vote, Bastion. That's what I said in the beginning. The Academy is not a popular contest. This is for people like you who like meandering films. That's what it is. And they like time periods and stuff like that. They like it when there's no black people in the movies and it's the 1800s. They like that stuff.
Hey, I'm hoping for the darkest timeline for the Oscars, where the 95th Oscars is they do it so bad. They locked everybody up. You can't do this, you can't do that. We don't want any controversy, and it's just people just sick and tired of it, and that's it.
Because it's gonna be the Oscars. Oscars So White. Oh, that's coming back next year immediately. Yeah. And that was when Chris Rock actually hosted it. And people like Jada and Will, they looked at him a certain way for hosting it. That was the Travis Scott effect, people.
yeah, at certain point, like you weren't invited. I saw those comments. It was hilarious.
Absolutely, I
He's a
remember
comedian.
that.
He's only talking about the darkest moments of the time. Offensive. So yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. He was in the wrong for the comment, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to put any type of emotional attachment to this event. I have a lot to deal with in my personal life. I just
Right.
want to move along,
Yeah.
But
I
the
just
ratings went up for Chris Rock though. He
Oh,
got some sold
absolutely.
out tickets and stuff.
Sold out immediately. And I just want to close out by saying the people who really took an L this whole awards season are the damn Williams sisters. First was at the Critics' Choice Awards where Jane Campion got on stage, who won Best Picture for Power of the Dog, and said that, "Oh, Williams sisters, I know you've had so much adversity facing all these women in tennis, but I'm in a position where I have to go against men every day as a female director, and I won." And now, once again, Will Smith smacking the ish out of Chris Rock took away the fact that Will Smith won an Oscar for King Richard, which was about the Williams sisters' father. So the real L, they goes to the Williams sisters, unfortunately, and it's not their fault. It's really not their fault.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them the most.
I did look at it that way too, because as you said, the Will speech did signify more of a forgiveness for what I did a couple minutes ago, but he did have something planned at the same time, which was overshadowed by the events earlier. And I know I don't know how I feel about the whole thing. It's more about how I feel about people commenting about it being ruined
Oh yeah,
and
I
still
agree.
not promoting the greatness of King Richard and how
Yeah,
great of the movie and what
it's
the
a
Williams
great
sisters did
movie.
with it. Because even when the movie came out, they were downplaying it because it wasn't a movie about the sisters. It was a movie about their fathers. Like, why would they put a father there? Why would they talk about their father in this
Because
movie
that's their
when
coach. Taught him everything.
when he left his old family to start a new family with the kids? It's like you didn't like it when it first came out, and now you're revering, saying they didn't get their shine. It's like you didn't even give them their flowers in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling out. I will call out everybody. It's like you never liked it. You never wrote anything positive besides like black supported groups and people that actually did watch it. They wrote great things about it. But then there were a lot of comments and like articles written about how it was this male ego driven type film that was created. It's like you didn't know the Williams sister was heavily produced in it.
White America.
That's what I mean. It's like I don't believe you said it ruined their moment. I believe you will never give them a moment, no matter what. So I
I
don't
understand that. I
I don't agree.
understand.
I still think even if this that didn't happen, they will find some way to say like they wouldn't even talk about it. They'll say William Smith won. That's it. They wouldn't talk about like the
For
greatness
the
the film
movie,
did.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I understand. I definitely get that too.
you
Damn,
see where I'm going
I
at?
do see it, and it's so unfortunate because it's a really good movie, and the sisters do deserve that shine and that accolade. But hey, man,
Even to this day, even in their own sports, they don't even get that shine and accolade.
oh
Even
hell
to
no!
this day.
You see how them damn refs or how them them people high up in them damn seats be treating them still. You see how Serena be fighting every day still with them.
Yeah, in the comments of the after, like they do something in the it's like this. I maybe this is very tennis because a scene happens and everybody talks about it. Serena breaks a racket, and then it was like a bunch of articles calling her like the worst thing you could talk about.
Although she's the
And
most decorated
yeah, it's like, oh,
athlete in
she's angry.
tennis.
She has like she's doing this. She's vicious. Da da da. Using very like terrible terms
Angry
to talk.
black woman.
Yeah, like just to kind of put that up. It's like if anything, this kind of matches the same energy
Right.
for the
Yeah.
Williams
I'm like, y'all
career. Where
forgetting
they,
she yeah, and the same thing goes with them. Nigga, they from Compton. What you expect?
so what I mean, it's like they will show emotion and you will talk about them in a bad light, and it would no matter how they will try to finagle maybe the language they would like to use, it still comes off as anti-black to me. So for even the Williams sister, as like as a young black man, my dad loves Williams sisters.
Mm-hmm.
My dad loves tennis too,
Right.
and he's making me watch every single game. It's like Sebastian, I know you don't watch it, but it's like, watch this. This is going to be like, you're going to think about it years ago, 2002, 2005, 2008. Like, I'm watching all of these Williams dominating the league. And there will always be disrespected. Someone will always say, like, oh, they wouldn't be the best in a certain time. You know, the same thing they'll try to say with LeBron. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Williams are the LeBron of tennis, or
I agree.
vice versa. LeBron is
Mm-hmm.
the Williams of basketball.
Yeah.
Why can't I say that?
Hey, look at how they even treat Naomi Osaka though, too, who's also a black woman.
Yeah, and that one's very interesting too because she's very shy.
Yes.
You know, she's the most soft-spoken tennis player. You know, I've seen other tennis players younger than her that are just media ready, trained. They got so much bravado and stuff. And she will do something. People will have to write think pieces about is she ready for tennis because she cried.
Mm-hmm.
I
After
think,
being heckled, right?
yeah, after being heckled in the tournament before. And it's like people go through emotions and stuff. People react the way they react, and then they will move it along same way you humans, us as people, would feel. Like imagine you do something and everybody in the office is like writing articles and writing emails about that one thing you did in that day. How would you feel? But people don't really have that type of emotion, especially connected to black
Of
women
course not.
or women of color.
Absolutely
Like
not.
Ezra Miller, who's playing the Flash, got
Yeah.
arrested.
Yeah.
Like how many comments? I ain't seen any comments about him. I ain't seen any articles written about him. He's done. This is his second thing he's done, where he did something disturbing and no one's talking about it. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be like that every time.
I mean, Jay-Z put it best, man, in 2017. Still, nigga. Jay-Z said it.
Yeah, this whole thing is anti-black. I don't care. Like the think pieces work in those perspectives on like those two people, and I do think there's a certain conversation of Chris Rock and how he, you know, the comments he said and how he did the joke, and then there's the whole perspective of like Will Smith said and how he did the slap. But that's it. That's where I put the box in. You know, those are the comments. Everything around it is already anti-black, and that's how I look at it. You know, it's like the only people that lost their moments was Amir and Questlove,
Yes.
and the Williams. Like, did everybody not lose their moments? Did the other two black people in the room lose their moments? Is that what everybody's saying to me? This is outlandish to me.
You're right, bro. You're right. Well, that's how we feel about it. And yeah, do you want to get into some more music, or do you want to just go straight into some music discussion? Do you need to cool off a bit?
I need to cool off.
I got you, man.
Music.
I got you, man. Let's play a beautiful black woman. Let's play some Estelle featuring Kanye West. American boy, American boy. Estelle, American Boy featuring Ye. Classic song, classic back in 2007. Man, it's pretty hard just to get a Kanye feature nowadays, but hell, Estelle pulled that off.
I remember originally it was supposed to be a John Legend feature.
Ooh.
But I think this is what they wanted to work with. I think this was his beat or something. But yeah, I remember. And it just happened to be like one of her biggest hit single.
It is her biggest.
To the United States.
It is her biggest hit single. Well, and here in America, 100%. This is a song that Americans remember of Estelle immediately. Real quick before we get into music, I've been listening a lot of the glow in the dark versions of Kanye songs. So Flashing Lights, Stronger, I Wonder. Like, damn, I really wish I could have gone to that. I know I was only like 13 years old when that album came out, but damn, I kind of wish I was there for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely would have went to the tour with Lady Gaga as Childish Gambino made a joke years ago. It's like the tour was too weird, so they canceled it.
Yeah. Did you get
too nerdy?
Did you get the 3 parts in your head on the side?
No, absolutely not.
Hey, that was a thing that was a thing that Kanye did, man. That was a thing back then.
As someone that listened to him, I never copied him.
Fair enough.
Besides the polo, but you know, it's like your parents will buy you the polo because that was what was hot at the time.
That is fair.
All right, but speaking of music, let's get into
Into
music?
new music. There's a lot of new music, Bastion. There's a lot of great projects that came out that we were able to sink our teeth into. The first album we could talk about, well, you could talk about because I don't listen to Charlie XCX, but I know you wanted to talk about it for a number of weeks, but we just didn't get time to talk about it, and that is Charlie XCX return with Crash.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about like two albums back to back real quick. So yeah, Charlie XCS Crash. Big fan of Charlie. I love her music. It goes from I guess electro to very pop music. She understands what she needs to do. That's why I always felt she understands her core fan base. And the promotions for this album was interesting because like the singles that she dropped, it seemed like her fan base didn't like it. They didn't like the single, and it seemed like they didn't like the direction she was going. And the first thing that came up to me in my mind was like, oh, I remember when Absol did this with one of his albums. Like his fan base did not like the album. And same thing you could say about Damn with Kendrick Lamar. It's like they didn't like the album immediately, like once it dropped, because they didn't like the direction it was going. It's like, no, we have to go a different way from what I've been doing. But that's how like the media portrayed when this album dropped and how people like and discussed it. But for me, I thought the album was pretty interesting. Like it was decent. Maybe a couple more listens, I could give it like a proper review. But from what I listened to, Crash, New Shape, good ones. So like those are great, good songs. Beg for You has a great music video with Rina Sawayama, and she's great too in this song. And I thought it sounded like a Charlie XCX album. I don't really have much to complain. Like some songs are bangers, some songs are, you just got to listen to the lyrics a little bit more. Uh, Maybe because it wasn't as poppy and electro as her last album. That's what a lot of fans were a little bit more upset about. But I thought it was all right. Couldn't complain. I give it like a good 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 if anything. Right. And the other album I want to talk about is Rosalia.
Oh,
You listen to her?
Rosalia. I haven't
Yeah,
listened to her new album, but I'm aware of Miss Rosalia.
I actually like this album a lot. I thought just quickly doing a quick review to it. Moto Mami. I listened to this album a couple of times, especially on my speakers, and I thought this album just makes me want to dance a little bit. I don't know Spanish, but I do like listening to foreign music, and if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Of course.
So my description is like it sounds good. I love the production. The weekends on it speaking Spanish. I thought that was awesome. There are a couple like talking tracks into it, but overall, I could say from like beginning to end, you could just like vibe through this music, and you could just have a good time. If you're driving, I think this is great driving music in the evening, because it just challenged you and like gives you that straight up good energy while you're driving. So I haven't driven in a while, but if I was driving, I would definitely listen to this album. I like this album. I do recommend people to check this one out. The new Rosalia's album, Moto Mami. And let's talk about Denzel Curry. You want to get into it?
Oh man, Denzel Curry is back with his new album, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. And honestly, Bastion, I told you this earlier today. Denzel Curry needs a damn hug, okay? This is a sad ass album. A great album. This album is freaking incredible, okay? I'm just gonna say it right now. I didn't expect. No, I didn't. It's not that I didn't expect it. Denzel Curry is underrated and he has a great freaking catalog of albums, okay? I just didn't expect it to be this damn good, okay? He had Taboo, he has Unlocked, he has Zoo, all right? But I didn't expect this to come out. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the introspective, the self-reflective, the very freaking sad and melancholy Denzel Curry to come out. And I didn't expect all the tracks to blend perfectly together. I didn't expect this very somber ass album, and it freaking worked. I think the blue hues of the cover works very well with this album, Bastion, because I swear to God, last Saturday here in New York, it was raining, and it was the first real time I actually got to hear the album when I was sober. and walking to the train station, having a nice spring rainfall, bruh, that is the best time to listen to this album. I'm telling you, bro. When you come back to New York, listen to this when it's raining.
It rained in LA, but it's a little bit different in how it rains here.
Exactly. I'm telling you though, when it rains here all day in New York, you need to listen to this album, okay? Because it will change how you feel about this album immediately, because it gets you into that sad and somber ass tone that Denzel Curry was in this whole damn album, okay? I loved it. I loved how self-reflecting he was. I loved how he was honest about his fame and how, people around him changed, and I appreciate someone who's brave enough to open up like he did. But I mean, the tracks of the albums also give you a little window into how he's feeling. For
And
example,
before you get into that, I was going to just piggyback on what he said. It's a great album. It's one of those albums I wasn't feeling the first listen, but by like listen 3 and listen 4, it started melting very well and blended well with each other, and I started picking up my favorite tracks. But I agree with everything you've been saying.
yeah, so tracks like worst comes to worst, mental troubles, ain't no way, the smell of death. I'm like, yo, is this okay? It at least like he has some fun songs, like that track, Zato
Ain't no
Ichi
way.
featuring
Ain't no way.
no Zato Ichi featuring Slow Tie. Whenever I listen to that track, Bastion, I feel like this is a song that deserves to be on a new Need for Speed game. Like this is it right here. If you want to go 0 to 100 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds, this is a song to do it to in a Need for Speed game immediately.
I just want to quickly talk about the track "Walking" because that was the first single.
Yeah, and I
that's the
didn't
one
like
that
it.
had. You don't like it?
No, I didn't like it initially when he just had it as a single.
Okay, I loved it as a single. How do you feel about the context within the context?
Within the context now, it's like Kendrick Lamar's "I Love Myself." Like I didn't like "I" the first time I heard it, but when when "To Pimp a Butterfly" came out, it blended in great, and it made me accept and enjoy that song now a lot more.
Interesting. I'm a big fan of this song. I think this is one of my favorite like singles that he's done in a while.
Yes.
Because I think he's more of a like album, like certain songs in the album are just better than other songs. But
Right.
I'm a huge fan of this song. I love like the rhyming schemes and even like the hook that he had going on for it as well. And another song produced by JPEG Mafia. What beat do you think was produced by JPEG Mafia? Any quirky beats?
Well, Zatachi is pretty quirky.
It's track number 4, John Wayne.
John Wayne featuring Buzzy Lee.
Yes. So like the way the song begins felt very weird, like because JPEG's known for like editing, and then it just gets into feeling like John Wayne. It's like he's putting a phaser on his voice or something. That's another one of my favorite tracks too. And like, want to quickly talk about T-Pain and how he still has it?
Bruh, I was gonna get into T-Pain with Troubles and also Super Ghetto, but continue. Yes, T-Pain, this man he's like Anderson .Paak, where whatever he's featured in, this man is a cheat code immediately.
Yeah, I heard this the first time I heard the song. I didn't like the way it started. Gets to using too much of the voice, and then he started rapping. He said, "All right, cool." He got a quick 8-bar. Then T-Pain came in. He's doing the hook, and then he's just going in, and I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing. This is perfect. This is what I want my T-Pain." And by the end of the song, I was like smiling because I got everything I wanted. It's like a great Denzel Curry song with T-Pain, Tallahassee legend.
Absolutely.
And
Teddy penned her ass down.
Usually you get like a Denzel Curry with like a Rick Ross, that you guess you want something strong in Florida. So
Absolutely.
he has I think he has like 2 songs with Rick Ross, and I think that's
does.
dope that Rick Ross does music with Denzel Curry. But that's the way I look at it. It's like, wow, like this T-Pain track is fire. I wonder how you pull this. I hope they're in the studio together.
Maybe T-Pain did exactly what he did with the Buddy record, where he's just on his Twitch and he just started doing the verse on his Twitch.
Oh, is that what he did?
With the Buddy record, yes. I'll get into that if we have time to talk about that. But so T-Pain would be on his Twitch and he would just do verses. And like he would work on verses actively on his Twitch, and he would add his own. He would add the reverb. He would add the auto tune. He would do all of that on Twitch live.
Does he show how he does the auto tune?
Yeah, he does all of that stuff. I found out through looking at the comments, listening to a lot of like T-Pain features, like the Buddy record. I learned that recently.
Interesting. I would like to see if he did. I would like to see if he did video for it. The Denzel Curry record. But yeah, overall, this is a great album. No, it's more of a movie. You have to listen to the whole album to get the good feeling to it.
This is easily top 10. Yeah. Easily top 10. Top 5. Like, this is a good ass album. It's freaking amazing.
All right. Next one. Which one do you want to talk about?
We could go into let's talk about another lady real quick. Let's talk about the one and only Lotto, Big Lotto from the South, Atlanta. Big fan of Lotto. New album 777. Of course, that means she's very, very lucky. Love Lotto, man. Great artist. Love her rhymes. I love her skills. I love how she's so flashy. I love how she's very nonchalant. She's very braggadocio. She can rap her ass off really well. And 777, it's no exception. I thought she did her thing. Let me take a look at the track list real quick. Hold on. Wheelie with 21 Savage, of course. That's a big track that recently came out. The video is awesome. Very raunchy, of course. Poppin' wheelies. Of course, Big Energy featuring the coveted Mariah Carey sample of Fantasy. And then we got Sunshine, Lil Wayne, and your boy, our guy, Childish Gambino with the verse. With Lil Wayne too? Bruh, both of them killed it. And Mulatto didn't let them
outshine her.
Exactly. And that's why I appreciate it. Lotto can rap her ass off. And that's why I respect her. Yes, she can talk about her punani all she wants and all that, but when it comes down to bars, she got bars and she knows how to slide on beats. Like, she's really good at it. She has like the Gucci Mane slide on beats. That's how much I love her. I love her flow, I love her cadence, and I love the fact that these features, Lil Durk, Nardo Wick, Kodak Black, she's very good at picking these features, and she's very good at pairing herself off with these people, and she doesn't allow herself to get beaten on her own track. I think this is a really good album. Of course, like, this is more for women, I ain't gonna lie, but like, guys, you could get this off. You could get this off. This is a good ass album.
Yeah, piggyback on what you're saying, I thought the production choice, like the music and the beat selection, was great. And she knew how to write every single one of these beats with no problem. So I was like, oh, this is a very easy listen.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate like good music, like good beat selections, and it's perfect for certain speakers. I think louder speakers, it definitely speaks more to her energy.
32 minutes, she's in and she's out.
Yeah, I thought it was a good length too. Overall, I have nothing bad to say about it. I don't want to diss it, but a couple more listens, I'll probably give it like a good rating or something.
Yeah, it's a fine album.
And let's talk about Buddy.
Buddy, super ghetto.
I didn't listen to it.
God damn it, Bastion! You're in the West Coast, all right? This would have been perfect for you to listen to.
Buddy is for you. Like, you've always spoke about Buddy to me.
Because Buddy is freaking incredible, man. From the West Coast. This man came up from the church, so the man can sing. The man can rap. He's from the West Coast, so, he still has that West Coast flair. And super ghetto, it doesn't disappoint. He does have some disappointing tracks because he is experimenting with a new sound. All right, there's at least 2 records off this album where, let's just say, Bastion, he takes a little bit of inspiration from Tame Impala, a little bit. It's very Tame Impala, Mac DeMarco-esque beats, And both of them, one of them is called High School Crush, and the other one is Bad News. And it's very Tame Impala, very Mac DeMarco, happy-esque type of music. A lot of like Mac DeMarco Last Effect sort of beats to it, and he's trying to sing and rap on it. Those two are trash. I'm not gonna lie. When he's just rapping and he's singing, he's one of the best. He's one of the absolute best. Buddy on Black 2, of course, one of my favorite songs that came out during the 2020 protests. It's on this album. You know, Buddy being unapologetically black. He has Blast, who is one of the I think he was in the freshman, the double XL freshman list back in 2020. Yeah, 2020. Worked with a lot of West Coast artists like YG and of course Buddy. But I think my favorite song out of all of this, you know, out of the whole G-Funk songs is Happy Hour, which is featuring T-Pain. And this is a slow song. This is a faded song, a drinking song. This is a song right here, Bastion, where you want to slow dance with your old lady. And then T-Pain just comes out of nowhere, bruh, and delivers the verse of a lifetime, bruh. He's so freaking melodic. He's rapping, and then he just stretches his vocals out, and he just sings and he harmonizes, and the beat just drops, and oh my God, it's one of my favorite tracks off that album. Next week I'm playing that. I'm definitely playing that as we sign off, 100%. Hoochie Mama, that's an old West Coast G-Funk vibe of him, you know, just visiting his old ladies from different sets of the gang, you know.
Yeah.
Love that. Ghetto 24 featuring Tinashe, Buddy back singing again. Ari Lennox did her thing with Cool Things. Ain't Fair is Buddy going into some boom bap sort of flow real quick. Yeah, I have no real bad things to say about this album except the two, Bad News and High School Crush. He should have not went the Tame Impala route.
I'm interested to see how those songs come out. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's not good to me.
All right. And last but not least, wait, is there any other albums we want to talk about? The Nego album, right?
Yeah, Nego, that's about it. But we gotta hurry that one up, or unless you want to save that for next week.
No, I could quickly talk about it. It's a great compilation album.
Yes.
In terms of production, do get a lot of Pharrell production in this, and the features is amazing. I think everybody plays their part very well, and
yes,
this is the type of stuff that you wish, like, DJ Khaled can never.
I knew you were gonna go there.
It's like, come on, like, you could do this. You have the artists to do it, but Pusha T, the clips, the clips coming back together is just insane anytime it happens.
Absolutely. So, the only first time we knew about it was off that damn Jesus is King album, but that was first on Yandi, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I do think it's pretty interesting. And then of course you got the A$AP Ferg. Paper Plates, I thought it was a great song. Functional Addict with the Gunna.
Yes.
Remember Pop Smoke? That's a good song. That's a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you can't forget the last track. Come On, Let's Go. Tyler the Creator. He's just showing why he's like one of the best in our generation right now. He can do whatever he wants.
That's right.
It's just nasty sometimes, right? The music video came out for the first verse. Love when he does that. Like, you don't need a music video for the whole thing. It's expensive. But if you do like the first verse and the hook, that's all you need.
I remember he did that with Beamer. I'm like, damn, I want more.
Yeah, perfect. Once you start doing that, I thought, like, this is how you do it, man. This is how you promo. Yeah, that's what the music video is for. It's just for you to listen to the song 1,000,001 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I had nothing bad to say. I actually love this like compilation album. I know Nego, and they've been slowly, dropping a song here and there every other week.
Yes,
especially with the Pusha T track.
Yep.
Hear Me Clearly.
Yes.
So
Pusha T is gonna be coming soon. Hey, next week we're gonna be getting Vince Staples with his new album. Can't wait for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, J. Cole just announced like a little mixtape, which is gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and just
I am really waiting to see what you have to say about it. That's all
oh
I'm
yeah,
waiting for.
yeah. And when I said clips, I meant with no malice. I
Right.
almost forgot his name for a second, but Malice now he's known
You
as
know,
No Malice.
right.
But yeah, he came off with a verse. It's like, yeah, man, like people really want your music, man. He does make music, but I think they
He's
just
a
want him.
godly man now. Okay, you're gonna get No Malice featuring Lecrae.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, that was mean.
So that's the end of the episode.
That is the
Tune
end
in
of
next
the
week. We're Black
episode.
Seinfeld Show, but absolutely nothing. We're on every platform. When you listen to us as a podcast form, just type in Black Space Seinfeld, and you can listen to our previous episodes. We are also on BlackSeinfeld.com, and we're on every social media: Black Seinfeld NY, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you have any questions, please email us at blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. All
Until
right.
then,
Peace.
peace.